I would say, since it's such a beautiful exhibition, since it's been appreciated so much, and artworks on one side, the whole concept of the exhibition as to how it happened, it needs a lot more people to be seen it. I would say it should be taken to every city in India, to France also, and show the world as to how this collaboration has worked. It is beautiful. It is not one artist's work. It is the children. It is the French artist. It is the Indian artist. And it is such a beautiful collaboration. You can see what the artists have done individually. You can see what they've done with the children. And it's far too valuable not to be shown to the public. I think it needs to be shown 10 times more than what it is right now.
It is honest, and more than this glossy pastry events or any other, yes, we are part of that, but my heart doesn't lie there. My heart lies where the reality is. So for me, this is very real.
I don't think that these works were consciously meant to go together, but somehow they do happen to kind of go together, and it was a big surprise when we displayed the work, because none of us had seen each other's works.
It was such a natural process. No one was pushed into a corner to work fast. No one was sort of told to do this, to do that. I think it's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful journey from how just one little meeting starting with thoughts comes up to something like this. You know, it's beautiful. I fell in love with the cubes that I've seen there right from the first time when I saw them at Phoenix. I had seen them in sketches when the French artists had come to the studio. They showed it to me, and I love the sketches, I love the concepts. And I wish that the people, when they see it, they realize what is inside the cubes as well. And they're so beautifully personalized. They've got the names of the students who worked on it, they've got their photographs, and it is an absolute, I would say, tribute to collaborative work. It is beautiful the way it's come out, and the whole effect of them together. It is an expanse, and the beauty is they can be exhibited anywhere. They can be exhibited on the road one after the other. They can be exhibited in a round hall, in the museum, in a parking lot maybe on a Sunday. You can pile them up, and it's beautiful how the whole structure has come about and how each one is so individual and beautiful. I really love them.
The cubes were the center point, and then the rest of us, I think, have worked around those cubes. Somehow it has connected. So because of that being the focus, it's like having a little focus node, a little center point, and then the spider has spread its legs, or it's the butterfly has spread its wings, and to me that's how the work appears.
I, as an artist, work a lot with children. In fact, just yesterday I finished a workshop with 10 children who were working on metal in my studio. I have worked with children from Snehasadan, of course, Akanksha, Asima, Cry, Helpage India, so many organizations. And the beauty is the enthusiasm which they have. The beauty is the kind of spark which you see in their eyes when you show them certain things which can be done. And they go crazy, and they shock you sometimes with the kind of work they put up. Even at Snehasadan when we went, there were 80 children, 80, 90 children over there all together, boys separate and girls separate. The girls were much quieter, the boys were noisy, they couldn't sit down in one place, but you should see what they did. It is beautiful, the wish cards and everything that they put up, and so much interaction, and there's so much excitement for them to show what they had done. The moment you would go there, someone would come and pull at your t-shirt and show you, okay, look what I've done, bhaiya, see what I've done. And someone would say, you see what I've done, and I need this color and that color. And not one of them was just sitting there saying, I don't want to do anything. There was so much excitement in everyone. It was an absolute treat to work with them.
So we come up with this idea of giving them, paper, small color papers, and ask them to express their desires, their wish.
Somebody said they wanted to be a barber, someone said they wanted to be a pilot. So, and they had drawn a plane, or they had drawn a dancer, or they had actually drawn Michael Jackson.
What we thought, we can capture their desires and put it in a way that it can be an installation itself. And when we are just roaming around, three of us in this old Chor Bazaars and this market here, we've been looking for an interesting, material which can, combine all these thoughts together. And we came across with these mouse traps and other things.
Each of these mouse traps was like a little home. Home as in, it was like dreams trapped in a little square, rectangular, cuboid.
Also, we ask them whatever they touch in their everyday life, whatever they close to any object or anything, like a toy or the pencil or anything, which they have touched, and their touch is and their life is present in some ways in that lifeless object, and we can immortal them in a work of art. So that's why we chose those material, and we put this with the trap.
And then we decided to use the mousetrap as one sort of insignia to create this large installation that we did. And of course, all the time that we were doing this, we were in touch with the French artists, also seeing what work they were doing. And then finally, it all came together at the station, at the VT station or the CST station, and it was all put together and it looked wonderful. This collaboration between the children and the French, the children and us and the three artists worked very well. It was absolute magic.
At the railway station, a lot of people would come up to us and ask us, because it's been unprecedented that anybody has shown like that at a railway station or at a public space like the Phoenix Mills, because there's not too much public art in Mumbai. Of course, now that it's in a gallery, it's again a different kind of show where the children can see how their work is displayed, how the artists have done their own work. Not only have they been exposed to something new, they've been exposed to the fact that their artworks can be exhibited. I do not think that they knew even that such a thing could be. Also the PVR, the Phoenix Mills where it was shown, is a very hustling, bustling place, and a different type of crowd, of course, from BT station. They could see the cubes, they could see, our installation, the Dreamcatcher.
From very next day, I started getting text messages on my phone and phone calls saying it's a wonderful work that you all have done. Then I asked them, I said, did you read the little board that was next to it? Did you see how it was done? The French artists and the children, it was not only us. And they say, yes, we read about it and it's a wonderful thing, And the beauty is that people appreciate this genuinely, because there are very few artists who lend their time, who sort of go out of their way and do things like this. There are so many people who will say, nothing doing, I've got my own work, I'm in my studio, I don't care about this. But when you do something like this, and when 3 artists get together and do something like this, it makes an impact and people take notice, and it's a very well appreciated effort, you know.
The public part of the work is more exciting than the work in the gallery for me, because you know, as artists we do get to display a lot indoors, but the outdoor part is, it represents the right idea, especially for an NGO, and more such work, I guess, more such outdoor exhibitions should take place.
After all this collective work was done, then we went on to our personal work, which is right here, what you see here. And this is an interpretation of, I think, all that we saw at Snehasadan, of people living in shelters or people living in shanties and things of that sort. And that's what I've tried to depict with sheer metal, as to how basic their urban requirement is, how basic their landscape is. Yet sometimes you find, oh my God, I don't have place for this and for that and all that. And they live in a house which is 5 by 5, which is 25 square feet, 30 square feet. Yet they manage to do everything, and with larger families. It is all about space management, and that is what I've shown. It's like a puzzle that they sort of interact. Being an architect, this habitat was very important to me, as to how they adapt, how the children are totally, you know, you think that they'd be sad, but they're so happy within their own places. They paint, they sort of interact, they yearn for knowledge, you know. And it is this that I found a very playful nature, so I've shown these children interact with the environment and show them living in the shanties where they do, you know.
My work is all about Bombay and the humans and the way we react to our social and political conditioning here. And it's pretty much close to what we have done here right now. It's about human emotions and the way we all, everyday life, how do you react? And I try to capture those emotions in my work. First time I met these kids, I could see lots of emotions, lots of anger, lots of naivety, lots of things which they're afraid to face someone like me who's an alien for them. And unfortunately, I was not carrying my camera, and you know, I had my iPhone. So I found that interesting in a way that they open to that small device. It's like a play phone for them. And then when I started shooting, I was more interested to capture those eyes in whatever they were thinking. And then later I realized, you know, half of them were scared of me in a way. So that unsettled me more. So I thought this unsettlement about their own thing and my thing, which I can't face them and they can't face me, why not put in a form where, you know, that recording itself can be a work of art itself. So that's how it started. That for me was a very humbling and very emotionally very challenging experience.
I was the one to collect all the cards. When I collected the cards, I took them back to my studio. All the cards were colorful. So they were yellow, they were red, they were green, very much like the colors here, bright colors. So I took the various little motifs from each of these works. They have a fish, or they have a butterfly, You know, in one of the cards there was a house, there was a palm tree, there was, there were birds flying. I could do another 100, in fact, I think, of these paintings. I was so inspired. So I get inspired by all these motifs. I've kind of made stencils out of each, cut them out myself, and used them in each of my works. And the reason why then that work is so colorful is because I didn't want to show a depression. I wanted to show it as a happy work. I think the butterfly should really now really fly and spread its wings and really take off, because I don't know why I keep thinking of the butterfly. In fact, I've used that as a motif in one of my things. It's kind of, it depicts freedom. So, freedom is one of the things that dreams are made of. I think dreams have wings, so.
I had heard of Snehasadan only as a name. I had never seen their shelter, I had never seen what sort of work they did, I had never seen the children. But this, I was able to see what they were doing. And through 3 artists, Brinda, myself, 15 other people will know about them, and the awareness grows. And next time there is an event for charity approaching to them, people will immediately connect it. Yes, these were the children who had done these artworks together with them, and the popularity grows and they get more help. And most important, I think, is the child's self-confidence. The child's self-confidence to have worked with the French artists, for them to have worked with us, for them to see their work in the galleries at Phoenix, at the station. I think that is more important than that. The child gets more confidence in that,
For me, it really doesn't matter whether people will say good things about this or not. But deep inside me, I know that we are trying something nice.
I think this project has already made a lot of people happy. I think not only has it made the children very happy, I think it has made the artists very happy. It's made the viewer very happy. Whoever has seen the work has given excellent feedback. The French artists have been extremely happy, I'm sure. And of course, it's great to be collaborating. That's the other good part. There's so many collaborations. There's a collaboration between the gallery and the artists, the NGO and the artists, the viewer and the artists, and the viewer and the NGO. So it's a multiple, it's kind of benefits everybody. Also, it's not just India, it's also France. So it's, both ways.
Any sort of collaboration should be encouraged at the maximum. I would say it is a wonderful effort. It brings popularity to the artists, to the children, to everything. And the art that is produced by this collaboration, I would say, is far superior in meaning and in principle than an artist working individually in a house. This is much more, I would say, superlative work of art. Absolutely.